Just knowing that everything I've shared is in the spirit of tapping into this constant change that we go through. And again, we will all be together every Friday. Just like we have. Taking in a deep breath through the nose. And then seeing if you can prolong the exhalation. So exhale a lot longer than the in-breath. This regulates the nervous system. So you can always do this at any time. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Just allowing yourself to arrive to this moment exactly as it is. Noticing what you're sensing in the body at this moment. Is there tension or tightness maybe? Maybe there is deep relaxation, and that's always welcome too. So in our practice, we always want to welcome what is joyful, what is not joyful. But sometimes we forget to rejoice as well. And so just noticing if you notice relaxation or maybe a pleasant sensation in the body, softening around it. Sensing this breath in the body, this nourishing breath. Becoming aware of how it comes into the body, maybe the temperature. Noticing if it's the same temperature as it comes in or leaves the body. Just becoming aware of the sensation of the breath in the body. As you pay attention to the breath, just noticing also how the breath itself changes. Sometimes it goes faster, sometimes it's slow. And so just noticing in this moment, maybe the subtle of the change in the breath as you observe, as you pay attention in this way. Again, there is no judgment. So whenever you notice judgment for how things should be, how they shouldn't, just allow yourself to notice that with kindness and a big smile for being aware of that and coming back to just allowing your attention to rest here. And now sensing through the body and just noticing how the body rises on the in breath and contracts on the out breath. Now expanding this awareness of the body to the rest of the body, starting with your feet. Just noticing your feet on the ground. If they are on the ground, if they're kind of hanging, dangling, noticing that. If they're in contact with the chair, the cushion, then noticing that too. And just sensing here through the feet. And then moving up your legs and just noticing the legs here, the position of the legs and how that feels. So sensing through the legs, the skin, the muscle here, even the bone. Maybe your knees are bent or they're straight, noticing that, seeing how it feels when the knees are bent or straight. Now just becoming aware of your hips, the right hip, the left hip, the pelvis and the glutes, the tailbone. Then moving up the belly. Perhaps you can feel the breath here. So let's just hang in here for a little bit with the rising and the falling of the abdomen. And as you tune into the body in this way, really noticing sensations and just becoming aware of how these sensations change, the constant change. Nothing stays the same. If we stay with the sensation a bit longer, it is bound to change, just like everything else. So riding the waves of the breath right here in the abdomen. Whenever you notice the mind getting distracted, thoughts, the stories, just smile because that is a mindful moment. Rejoice in the fact that you noticed. And then really gently just bring your attention right back to this area, the abdomen. Staying tuned with the sensation here. And then allowing your attention to expand to the lower back, the lower spine. The might or might not be in contact with the surface holding you. And as we visit these areas in the body, allowing for yourself to tune into a sense of openness, or whatever might be here. A sense of letting go, letting be. Now moving up to the upper trunk, the chest. Noticing the skin here, the muscle here, even the rib cage that's holding all the organs here. Perhaps you can tune into your heartbeat. Maybe not. Just noticing all sensations here. And now allowing your attention to rest on your back. If your back is leaning against the surface holding you, just noticing what it feels like in these areas where the surface is in touch with the body when it makes contact. Just tuning into that. And if your back is free without any contact, just experiencing that as well. Now moving up to your shoulders, arms, and hands, and just allowing your attention to flow here. And then going up the neck and the throat. These areas hold much tension sometimes, so just checking in with any sensations here. And there is so much going on in the throat. So just sensing through here. And how about your jaw? How is the jaw and the teeth? Is there any grinding? Where is the tongue right now? Is it tense? Or can it just be relaxed at the bottom of the mouth? Just seeing what works, what feels right in this moment. Now expanding your attention to the rest of the face, the area around the eyes, the area around the nose, feeling the breath coming in. On the sides of the head, the right ear, the left ear, the back and top of the head. And now as you take a deep breath with me, exhaling long and just opening up your attention to sound and noticing what changed. Tuning into the vibration of sound, the volume, the pitch. If you have noise canceling headsets, maybe tuning into the silence. Whenever you're ready, just taking in a deep breath. And exhaling long. And perhaps bringing into mind a time in your life of big change, but a big change that brought you joy. It could have been for a birth, it could have been a trip, but something that was unexpected, something that marked change for you. Then just seeing what comes up. It could be a new job. And so as you bring this event to mind, tracking down just a little before the event and noticing what prompted this change. Perhaps in the case of a new job will be maybe sometimes a loss of a job or a situation that just didn't really work out so well. A vacation might be motivated by the fact that we're very stressed and we need to take time off. And even birth, right before a new being comes to the world, the uncertainty, right, of not knowing how that's going to go. So just noticing what it carries. And as you become aware of the things that might have come up before this pleasant event, this change in life. Just also becoming aware of how mind is always looking for preventing things, keeping us safe, keeping us alive, and resisting change in some way. Unless it's pleasant, really pleasant, and we want more of it. And it is within this clinging of wanting more that we suffer when there is change. So we learn to let go. We learn to let be. And if we can look at the ocean is not attached to the times when the winds are not hitting, right? The ocean is not always looking for calmness. It knows that it will pass, the storms will pass, the waters will settle. And sometimes it's this uncertainty that makes change so difficult, isn't it? But there are some things that we can be certain of at this very moment. The body here, right? The breath flowing. If you're here, you're breathing. But change and uncertainty also bring a sense of adaptability, resilience. The more we're willing to take change in this way, the more we open up to a resilience for difficult moments. Our understanding that things pass. And then within that lies possibility. And within that lies strength. So we're able to see life in this way as a constant changing. We learn to see that if we allowed the waves to just carry us over, we open up to choice, we open up to possibility, we open up to much more learning, strength. And I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, just how everything was so hard at the very beginning. Even if we're in the middle of the pandemic right now, things are still difficult. But at the beginning, it was not knowing what it was, what was going to happen. And even though there are places right now, they're still in that place of uncertainty. It could be helpful always to tap into what is certain for you. Perhaps everything around us is uncertain all the time, but there is a certainty that we're breathing, that our bodies are here. We can always come back to that, this awareness of body. It's called the embodiment of mindfulness. And from that place, we can tap into our strength, our wisdom, and see what's possible for us. There is a Chinese proverb that says, when the winds of change blow, some people build walls and others build windmills. And so just tapping into this inner strength that we all have to go through change. Because even when something is pleasant, sometimes it comes from an unpleasant moment, but there it is the beauty of it. That things are always changing, that we're never caught up in this one moment. Just like the pleasant passes, the unpleasant passes too. And a good way to look at it is to remember that even when something is unpleasant, remember that it will pass. And when something is pleasant, tune into that and know that it will change too. I wanted to share a poem with you called The House Called Tomorrow by Alberto Rios. And he says, you're not 15 or 12 or 17. You're 100 wild centuries and 15, bringing with you in every breath and in every step, everyone who has come before you. All the yous that you have been, the mothers of your mother, the fathers of your father, and someone in your family tree was trouble. 100 were not. The bad do not win, not finally, no matter how loud they are. We simply would not be here if that were so. You are made fundamentally from good. With this knowledge, you never march alone. You are the breaking news of the century. You are all the good who has come forward through it all, even if so many days feel otherwise. But think, when you as a child learned to speak, it's not that you didn't know words. It's that from the centuries, you knew so many. And it's hard to choose the words that will be your own, isn't it? From those centuries, we human beings bring with us the simple solutions and songs, the river bridges and star charts, and song harmonies, all in service of a simple idea that we can make a house called tomorrow. And I will change that to making a house called now, where we bring finally into the new day, every day, is ourselves. And that's all we need to start. That's everything we require to keep going. Look back only for as long as you must, and then move forward into the history you will make. Right now, at this moment, be good than better. Write books, cure disease, make us proud, make yourself proud, and those who came before you. When you hear thunder, hear it as their applause. So I thank you for being here, for our time together, and for your commitment to mindfulness, for your commitment to doing your practice and join us here weekly. So thank you so much.